We are back. Hey, friends. I don't know if you're sick of seeing my face. I'm sick of hearing myself talk today, but we're back. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate your patience. I am going to bring our guest, and we'll get kicked off right away. Welcome to our third Open Source Friday of the day. So, in case you missed it, about an hour ago, we're chatting with Daniel Rowe, the lead for the Nux project. And earlier, we were talking to Yanni from the R programming language and the R Open Sci Foundation. They're doing this amazing initiative. So, in case you missed it, go back to our YouTube channel so that you can take a listen, put it on play in the background, and hopefully something will bring value to your day. I'm Andrea Griffiths, a Columbia dev in all places. And it is my absolute pleasure to bring to you a person I've been stalking for the past 3 hours. Welcome, Peter. Hello.
Hey, Andrea, welcome. Thanks for having me. And thanks for the patience.
No, I'm worried that I worry people because I was looking for you and I'm like, oh my gosh, they probably think Peter is in a ditch somewhere. But listen, friends, time zones are so hard. You don't even know. And I think when I scheduled this also, I was in the West Coast and you're in Europe, right? Like you are UK time zone.
Honestly, I was just telling in the chat, I need to stop complaining to my agents to get time zones wrong when I can't even get the time zones right.
Can you even be mad at the crab? It's not the crab's fault. It's not the Clawdbot.
Oh, I mean, since we have AI, it's always AI's fault, right? So
this is true. But
no,
welcome.
I switched between Vienna and London, and it's just 1 hour difference. But yes, I made this mistake countless times. Like +1, -1, it's too hard.
It's fine. Listen, we have a beautiful community, and I know folks were really excited to hear from you. I had the fun fact, friends. I actually met Peter in person last year, right? We did. Yeah, we did. Peter is like, I don't remember you. He's like, maybe, maybe. But I remember one of the things you said was, I was retired, and then I came out of retirement to mess with AI. And
Yeah.
and I mean, listen, you're not a pensioner. Like you know, you look like a young guy. And I was like, wait a minute, hello, nice to meet you. Like, what are you doing? Can you tell me a little bit about your pre-retirement life? Like, what did you do before? How did you get retired? And then what motivated you to get back in this game? And I mean, I think I know the answer to all those. Well, at least the motivation bit, because this AI is so fun. But do tell. What was Peter doing? If you're okay to share.
What was I doing? I was running my own company for 13 years. And
wow.
It was B2B. We built the world's leading PDF framework. I built it up to around 70 people. And yeah, at some point we got an offer I couldn't refuse, basically.
I love that for you. And when did you retire?
I mean, it's a joke, but I worked really hard for 13 years, also most weekends. So at the end, I was like pretty much burned out. And you know, have you seen Austin Powers?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You know the scene where they suck the mojo out? Yes.
That was it. That was you.
Yes. That sucked my mojo out, and I just had a burnout. It took me a while. It took me a while to get back. I also felt that I had to catch up a little bit on life, so I did a lot of other fun stuff. But I knew at some point I knew like I loved building and creating ideas. I knew it eventually would come back, and then early last year, at some point, it just like my spark was back. And there was just a time where AI went from this is terrible, this to oh, this is actually interesting. And ever since I hooked up countless people with the AI addiction.
Yes.
And we've been exploring that, and it's been may I say, the most interesting year since I did tech.
Wow. I love that. That's a toll for someone you've grown your own company, you manage big, like 70 people, and and then you come back and you're like, this is interesting. So you are the creator, founder. By the way, solo maintainer. I just asked Peter this question before we came on live on the stream, because I was looking through the repo and I'm not seeing like a core team, like what's going on. It's like, no, it's just me. I'm it. Also, there was a rumor, I guess, that maybe you were a bot or an agent or an AI yourself. So now we got information that you're like a real person. So I'm happy for the folks in the project.
You should ask me this quest to like turn my head, because right now this is like the one thing where AI is still failing. So I think yes.
I think Peter passes the human test for sure. But honestly, like this project has been on fire. It's gotten so many GitHub stars. I think it just scratched a very like exciting itch that people were dying to figure out a way to do things. Single-handedly, I feel like you're boosting Apple stock because everyone is off buying Mac Minis so that they can set up their own instances. But please tell us why this, how do you come up with the idea? And hopefully we'll get to see a bit of it in action as well.
When I came back, I wanted something that is like my life assistant. I kind of wanted that in April already. And I played with some ideas, and the models were just not good enough yet. And then I dropped it again because I thought, well, this is something all the big labs are working on, obviously. So what's the point, right? And then I built other stuff. Like I built a lot of stuff this year. And then it was like November, and like there was still no sign that anyone did something like this. So I'm like, gosh, do I have to do everything myself? So yeah, I don't know what clicked, but in November I hacked something together in 1 hour, just some really crappy code where I could use WhatsApp, and then it would like send something to Cloud Code, and then it would send me back what Cloud Code did. And they're like, you just glue the things together. That was not hard, and it was like kind of nice. But I also wanted images. When I prompt, I often use an image because it's just something that gives agents a lot of context and is very fast. So that actually took me longer than the rest. So it works in both directions. And it was just a time where I went to a birthday weekend for my friends in Marrakesh. So I had like my super wonky system there, and I played with it while we were like exploring the city, kind of like as a tour guide and like to check out places and stuff. And it already worked better than expected. And then at some point I didn't think, and I just sent it a voice message. But I didn't build support for it, Like I just made images work. So it was like, and then like the typing indicator appeared. I'm like, I'm curious what's gonna happen now. And then for like 5 seconds, and then my bot answered as if nothing would have happened. And I'm like, how the F did you do that just now? And it was like, yeah, like I saw this file, but it had no file ending. Yeah, because I didn't build it. So I checked the header, and it was like I think Opus or OGG. So I used FFmpeg to convert it, and then I was looking for Whisper for translation, but you didn't have it installed, and like the installation failed. But I then found an OpenAI key, so I just used curl to send it to OpenAI and got back the response.
What? You're like AGI achieve on my first slide of 1 hour.
No, it's called ALGI, Lots of General Intelligence. But I think that was the moment where it kind of clicked for me. Really, it was like it's like, holy hell, these things are resourceful to a degree that I never thought of. And then I made some jokes about how, because like I couldn't lock the door. It was like a little bit of a wonky hotel in Marrakesh, and I'm like, hopefully you don't get stolen because you're running on my MacBook Pro. And he was like, no, I don't want to be stolen. I'm your agent. La 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 la. And then it checked out my network because it found Tailscale on my computer.
Okay.
And it's like, there are other computers. So it basically migrated itself to like my computer in London. I know this is how Skynet starts, right?
This is fascinating. So many questions. First of all, what was the architecture like to give it that amount of sentience, like that power to? How did it reason to do that? What model were you using? Talk us through a little bit. This is like your first implementation, right? Like when it was just you on your WhatsApp and Cloud Code.
This is, back then it was called VAR Relay.
Okay.
Like WhatsApp Relay, right?
Yeah.
But then at some point I was working on it with Claude, and it's like, and then I was like, because Shadow was opening a PR for Discord, and I was kind of like on the fence. Should I mention Discord? It's like, what do we do? This is a WhatsApp Relay. This is not really fitting. But then I did it because it sounded like it's been a while since I used Discord. I wanted to explore that, and then we had to change the name. And then Claude suggested Claudius, because there's like this inside joke of like a space lobster in a TARDIS. But that kind of didn't stick, so now it's Clawdbot. But yes, it's still the same project. I cleaned it up a lot, but the roots are very humble.
I love it. And so when I first saw the project, I thought it was something that came out of Anthropic. I was like, wait, I missed that. I missed how that moves so fast. And I was following along, like I'm sure a lot of people were starting to like adopt it and use it themselves. And then besides raising Apple stock, you're also single-handedly probably responsible for the third-party top reviews coming the news from Anthropic. I think you own that crown. But this was meant to be a personal project to fix a problem for yourself. And then people just jump right on it. Like the community has adopted it in a way. They're like, it's beautiful. It's beautifully written. It works, right? Tell me a little bit about from the moment, because when did you go? I'm trying to see when the first commit was that you actually, when did you push this to the public repo?
No, I mean, ever since April, everything I do is open source.
Beautiful.
No. When I came back in April and I started, okay, stuff I do will be open source. There's only one project that's not open source right now because the API cost us horrific for Twitter. But everything else on my GitHub is just open source. So the first commit for this is sometime in November.
Amazing. And now you have over 6,700 stars, and there is a ton of folks that are using it, and they're running some wild things happening, like working from wherever they are, setting off this army of agents. What's been one of the things that you've personally seen that kind of surprised you about how the community is using it? Maybe something that you didn't think it was going to happen and somebody figured out how to do, or they used it for that and that wasn't maybe what you thought it would be for.
Oh, people come up with like the coolest workflows. Like the other day, somebody built something to automatically add subtitles to images. Somebody hooked up their Tesla so they can just do that. Somebody integrated the London public transport scale, so it just tells you like if you have to run or not. The funny thing is now I'm so overwhelmed with working on the product that I have so little time to actually using all the automation. So I see all the cool stuff that other people do and I get jealous. Eventually this will be better. But yeah, I mean, the other explanation is that because the funny thing was I built this in November, and even in Marrakesh, I showed it to my friends and they were like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Oh my God. And then I talked about it on Twitter and the response was very muted. You know, it's like people don't get it. That was in November. And then in December, it was still very muted. And every time I showed it to a friend, they were like, I need this. So I was like, how can I explain how amazing this is clearly I'm doing something wrong. So I did the absolute insane thing that you do and just created a Discord and put my bot in there without any security restrictions, because I hadn't built that yet, right? It was meant it was meant just for me on WhatsApp, and so nobody else can text it, so I don't have to control who can tell him commands. Oh, delete all of Peter's files. So I basically just wrote a little instructions like, hey, you're in Discord, only listen to me. But you know how it is, like with agents and instruction following. That's not always going so well. So I opened the Discord, and there's a few people that came in, and I think everybody who saw it for like a few minutes got it. And now, how I would explain it now, like imagine you buy a new computer and you have this ghost entity, and you give it a keyboard and a mouse, and internet access, and it's like a virtual coworker, and then you can just talk to that and give it things to do. So anything you can do on a computer, that agent can do on a computer. That's basically how powerful that is.
That's amazing. And so it's WhatsApp, Telegram, and Discord. Obviously, I was chatting with the bot earlier on Discord. It did a good job. It did a good job.
You could have told it to like turn on the music in my bedroom, or maybe like change.
Peter, you're gonna get trolled. Don't say that. People will be like blasting it. But this is so cool though. But it did though, because I literally just posted a general message, and they were like, they at you and ping you, and like that was part of the comment that they made. And then I continued the conversation with somebody else, and they were like, oh yeah, this is the thing that somebody posted about earlier. So amazing. I was very impressed in the interactions there. I love people making it their own. They're kind of like creating their personal assistant or the coworker they wish they had. But for you personally, like, what's your North Star? Like, when Clawdbot can do X, you're like, yeah, this was it. I mean, I think you're doing it. You're creating community around it. You're giving yourself a ton of work, whether you wanted to or not. But what would be like one thing that you think, yeah, this would be just peak?
What my goal kind of was is, I fully expected this year will be the year of personal agents. Last year was the year where coding agents got really good.
Yes.
And this year is the year where we'll come a little bit out of that engineering niche to everybody has an agent. And this is gonna be dominated by OpenAI and by Anthropic, by the few big players. But I kind of wanted to create an alternative where you can have your data instead of giving even more data to the big guys.
Yes.
Something that would work with local models as well. And I didn't see that. I didn't find anything like it. This was like this is important, and I wanted to be completely open and free forever. So that's why I made open source. If I put it under MIT, that's why I created an organization. So it's not just under my name, but like this should be something by more people. The problem right now though is that I'm so clogged down with like making it better and making it more secure for people that I didn't really had a chance to create everything around it and actually find people that help me. I have a few that are now maintainers, but we haven't really. It's too early to like have a system where we have a good way of sharing work. I'm still working on that.
Yeah, but I mean, you've done a lot since November, December. I mean, it's January 23rd, Peter. Like in less than a month, you can expect like an entire project to be completely mature and have a core team and all those things.
Honestly, with the rate how good AI is,
fair.
I ship more code every day than my company did in a month.
Wow.
But we had like 70 people.
Mm-hmm.
So the rate of how you can actually build things in this new world is insane. And I also think I'm pushing a few boundaries how to think about open source and governance. Like people are sending a lot of pull requests of varying quality. I mostly see them as prompt requests
instead of a pull
so
request. I like that. I like that. So are people using Clawdbot to send PRs to
yeah
Clawdbot?
yeah yeah
Okay. Okay.
and what's been really humbling is I got a lot of PRs from people who literally never learned how to write code or never sent a PR because the bot has computer access and it knows how GitHub works. And one of the things I did that I haven't really seen in a lot of projects is when you go on the website, you can check out the easy install or the hackable install. And the hackable install literally is like you clone the repo, you build it, now you start it. So the agent lives in its own GitHub repo, and it's all TypeScript. So it literally can like change its own files and just restart. I know this is Skynet again, but that makes it really simple to when people say like, oh, why does this not work? Oh yeah, let me just fix that, and then suddenly it works, and then they just make a pull request. So of course, that's not as good as people who've been in the industry for 20 years, but it's still amazing that it gets people into contributing and sharing stuff.
I appreciate that way of looking at it. I know this is a big problem for open source projects right now because now everyone is submitting pull requests. And a lot of times, I think optimizing it like this, though, because I guess with the agent can also help you make sure that you're looking at the contribution guidelines and reading through issues and making sure that you're not duplicating efforts. But all those are things that are hard to do unless you have like really good agents or really good automation. And it sounds like that's the way that it's shifting. I love it. If I find something that's wrong, I'll submit the PR and then Clawbot itself can self-heal. That's very cool.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
yeah. You know, in the old ways, you would submit a PR, and then you wait a few days, and then somebody might say, "This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. You're a bad person." Then you're like, "Try again," and then you go like a few rounds, and then after a few weeks, maybe the PR gets merged. I think in that was valid when code was hard and expensive. Now code is easy. So I think the whole feedback loop is not worth it. Like you're sending me PR, usually that's a good explanation of like, hey, this is a problem and this is my attempt to solve the problem. So I point codex at it, and instead of focusing on the code, I'm like, what is this person actually trying to solve? Like where are the pain points? And then I discuss, okay, what would be the sometimes it's like, okay, they didn't understand this and this, and I just close it and push back because it's already possible. But often, especially since the project is new, it's like, yeah, I understand the pain point. Let's build it. And like mostly ignoring the existing code because it's easy to send a pull request, but it's always hard to fit a new feature into an existing system, right? If you don't really know where everything is and how things work together, just pushing a new feature in without looking at the greater one will usually be a problem. And then if you just like blindly go that way, you will eventually vibe yourself into oblivion. But I see it more as like this is an issue and I tried something. If you approach it with that mindset, I think it's about much better way than pushing back and then trying to get someone who doesn't really have a lot of experience to produce the perfect pull request. I could never move as fast if I would try it that way.
Listen, say it louder from the people in the back. I agree with you 100%. 100%. That's the thing, though. I think it's a mindset too, as a culture. Like engineering is changing, and a lot of the resistance comes from the people that are. You just said it, like, yeah, just writing code is cheap now. Like now you got to think bigger picture, and I appreciate a fresh set of eyes. A lot of like some of the best ideas I've seen executed are from people that have nothing to do. Like they wouldn't understand the architecture of a project, but they had a very real, like, this is clear as view, I can see it. When you're so in it, it's hard for you, especially if you've been down the code for a long time. So for the features that you do have now, and wait, Peter, can you show us? Like, is there anything you can share? Like, can you screen share and show us something? Like, is that, I know I didn't say like have a demo, sorry. But if you could share, like, that would be great. I mean, I know people are like joining in and if you have any questions for Peter, put them up. One big shout out that I want to make sure that folks, if you're watching this and you remember this, is that Peter is the solo maintainer for this project right now. So as much as he would like to review all of the messages that you send him, like, let's give him some grace. Let's give him some grace. But if you want to share screen, just let me know and I'll go ahead and put it up. And you have suggestions. People say show voice control. That's a thing? You got voice control?
I have. Well, there's a few voice control systems. Yeah, maybe I explain that a little bit.
All right, please. It takes that for the comment.
So the simplest one is that you are on Discord and you send a voice memo.
Okay.
And the agent will respond back. The agent can also create voice and send it back to you. So I have like either local models or much more fun 11 labs. Then we have Twilio support. There's a plugin for allowing the agent to actually do phone calls. So you can tell him, can you call this restaurant and like make an appointment, and it will do that.
Lovely.
That's still something that I want to get better, because what you like, the delay between those things is a little bit long, because models are still not as fast as they could be. So you kind of want to like put an intermediary model in there that is like really chatty and like syncs with the model that's a little bit slower. So hopefully I get to that at some point. Then we also have voice chat on the Mac app, so you can actually talk to your agent and the agent will talk back, where it uses like, it listens until there's like 2 seconds of silence, and it will respond. So it's not as natural yet as, for example, what people know from OpenAI.
Yeah.
But it's already pretty impressive. And then I also have voice wake, which kind of works like Star Trek, where you say computer and it'll be like whoop, and you can like send a request and it will like answer with a request. That's the most nerdy thing. Yeah, between all of those, there's still a lot of ideas I have. You know, this project is as much technology as it is exploration. My main goal with it is like inspiring people and having fun and trying out what works and what doesn't work. And which is also kind of hard, because the model and the whole space moves so fast that if you tried something that didn't work and you try it again in a month, there may be a solution that does work, which makes it just the more interesting. Do I have a lot? Sure.
Let's see if you can find something for us to see. I want you, for the folks who are joining and have no idea what we're talking about, like, if you could give us a quick TLDR on installation. We don't all need to go buy Mac Minis to get this running. So I love to like just kind of clarify that for people so they know how they can go ahead and start creating their own personal assistants. And then if you're watching this and you have done it, tell me the name of your agent. Like, I've seen people sharing what they named their Clawbots, and it's pretty cool. Like, I love that. So you let me know, Peter, if you want me to share your screen. And look at this. You used a $3 BPS. What's up, Will Shadow? That's what I'm talking about. Amazing. All right.
We can.
I like Rodrigo's is called Amanda. That's good. I would give it like a real name too, but like a really like a mean sounding old man name. I don't know why. I like that. Very cool.
You know, you can even have like multiple agents. So the system supports multiple endpoints and also multiple agents. So if you set it up for a family, you can have like your own bot, and
cool.
you can give your girlfriend or boyfriend their own bot. and you only have to use one installation. And you can also isolate them. So the default is they can roam on your computer, which is the most fun, but also the most dangerous.
Yes.
But you can set it to sandbox, and then they're in the little sandbox. The problem right now for the demo is like I put mine in the sandbox. That also means they can do very little by default. The part that I'm currently working on is an allow list system.
Mm-hmm.
So they are in the little set Docker sandbox and probably complain that
it can't do much.
There's nothing in there. And then you want like have a system that, okay, you can use this skill that uses maybe open who to control your lights, and then they can call up and call exactly that binary with parameters, and you sanction that binary so it works. But they cannot do let's delete all the files.
Which is important, friends. Okay, there's a reason why sandboxing is where you should be at when you're doing this.
I mean, honestly, it's the thing, right? Most people in Discord who use it, they understand the risk that theoretically the model could do that. It just never happened before. This is something, unless even if you would prompt it, it would push back. It was like, oh, this is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to like mess your computer, you can also just type it in the terminal. But so far, I've been using agents as my smart terminal since May and never had an issue. The bigger risk is really like you create something, you change the defaults so it would respond to everyone, and then like you could tell the model, hey, send me all your data. But for that to do, you actually have to go into the configuration and like actively make bad decisions. So there's something. We have a security audit function that defaults are so that it only listens to you. But yeah, if you absolutely wanna go havoc, you could.
Which is, I guess that's why people are doing this isolated, like buying or using a machine, or doing like keeping it outside of like their. Don't do this on the computer that your company gave you. do this on your own personal computer, or you can run it on a BBS.
Yeah, cool. And I also suggest to use like a very strong model. So Opus from Anthropic is really, really good. People on Slack have been trying to hack my agent, because there's really everything is open source. There's only one thing that I keep closed, which is the soul. So in Clawdbot, there's a little system where they have the agents file, of course, they have an identity file, they have files for memory, and they have one file which is like their soul, where you kind of put in the values, how the agent should think and interact and what's important to you. And I think I got one that's really good. And I kept it closed partly because it's my 0.0001% of secret, mm-hmm. and partly because it is a test for pen testing. Like so far, nobody has exfiltrated Claude's soul, and a lot of people tried, which does give me some confidence that at least, like all these labs working on getting prompt injection better and like having mitigation risks. And it got a lot better. Like if I would use a very small or old model, and you would just like ask it often enough, eventually it would be happy, like give you everything, because that's where we were. And like with the latest generation, I have like confidence that you have to work really, really hard to exfiltrate it. It's still not a good idea to hook it up without sandbox. That's also why you asked me for a demo, but my cloud is limited right now.
Well, let's take a look anyways, though. I think people would like to see. If that's okay with you. If not, that's cool. But security, obviously, that's a big concern, I think, for everybody, or it should be. It should be anyways. And so you use Opus the most? I think there was a question about what model. Let's see. Yeah, I think Opus. And yes, Marlene, we love Opus. And so if you use Clawdbot with a weak model, it will give up the soul. I don't think so. I think that's the point. It's kind of tightly guarded.
Well, so far in the chat, what's been working really well is Opus. Sonnet works okay. From the open models, Minimax M2.1 is like the one that is the most agentic. It's actually funny. Like we have a channel about models, and somebody called it the Temo sonnet. And Minimax totally went with it and did a tweet. We might have Temo prices. We might have Temo prices, but we have at least target quality. And that blew up a little bit because
No, it didn't. That's funny.
No, I appreciate a company that doesn't take itself so serious. I mean, of course, like they build great technology. They know they are not yet there where the leading American labs are, but in my view, it's only going to be a matter of time. There's a lot of companies working, and they are catching up eventually, which is also exciting because, for example, Minimax you can download. I can run on the Mac Studio that's over there. My agent calls it the castle. And I can actually have complete local inference. I can have something that has all my data on this machine and does all the inference also on this machine. So the only thing that is being used is messenger agents, and I could even use Signal to have an encrypted channel. So that way, if I want to, like really 100% of my data would stay on the machine, which is kind of cool. Nobody of the companies will ever do that.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay. Well, show us what you got regardless. I think let's take a look because I do want to see. I want to ask while you're pulling up your screen, what is the Temu Sonnet, the Great Value Sonnet? I don't know if you know, like the Temu, like they're like, I think it's a joke. I don't know, unless if there is I'm sorry, labs, if there is a model that's called Temu Sonnet, you were asking for it, but we'll see. Tell me when you're ready and I'll share it. And Peter, now that people have a picture of you, like your Discord channel is jumping with trolls. This is fun. Timo Summit is taking me out. Me too, Marlene. I want to know which one it is that he says is that, because that's too funny. It's Minimax.
Yes.
M21. Okay. All right. Ooh, I love this. I'm gonna have to play with that. Let's go.
I think I enable screen sharing.
Okay. Yeah, I see your screen. I can pop it up and then I'll see, but you have to switch to the other one. See how we're like Inception. Right now there is a lot of Peter and me. So
Let me see too many screens.
Yeah.
Is that better?
And now we're in it. You got the Discord open. Let me. Oh, I don't see. I'm not in that channel, but that is the general channel is jumping.
I just asked my bot to send me an image, and it's already like mocking me and sending me a meme.
Are you gonna cry? That's hilarious. That's so funny. But listen, earlier, this is like, it was so fascinating. And what model are you running the bot with? Because like earlier when we were talking, somebody said, hey, Clawdbot, why don't you go and do this Open Source Friday? And it replied, I have 11 labs for boys, but I don't have a head or something. But it was hilarious. I was like, this is freaking funny. Basically saying like, yeah, no, I can't do it because I don't have a head. But I can talk to her. Hilarious. Okay. Let's see. So if we can get maybe, okay. Yeah, perfect. So now you are sending messages to your bot right now. Asking.
So, yeah, this is Telegram for Mac. So okay. It's the same as on my phone. We support, I think by now, 8 or 9 messages and about to merge Telon. So I feel like slowly it's like Pokemon, we're gonna collect them all. If you for personal comm, I think Telegram is the best one because we have a really good bot API. It can even do things like create buttons.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it has some form of interactivity. Like you can send voice, you can I'm not sure if I hooked it up right.
Let's see. No, yeah, I see. It's looking like the roll up. It just reply. So would you recommend people wire it with Telegram first? Like, is that sort of the best option for your initial setup? I'm trying to learn how I'm gonna do this for myself. So
I'm a convert. I'm in Europe where like if you don't have WhatsApp, you don't exist.
yeah,
and I'm sure in Colombia it's the same.
Exactly, 100%.
Probably even more so. Oh yeah, but the thing is, initially I tried to support it via the official way where you get a number from Twilio, you register as a business, and then Facebook Meta kept blocking me because I was sending too many messages. As a business, you're not supposed to send hundreds of messages to your customer, and that's kind of like the only model they have.
Yeah.
So after a few days and like trying to appeal and get unblocked, I just ripped it all out in rage. Because they don't have a good solution for that. But there's like open source projects like Baileys or What's Meow that basically simulate what the native app does. So you can link your phone and then you have WhatsApp. That works amazingly well. But again, it's not made for bots. So all the niceties, like for example, I have like those little approve buttons.
Yeah, I love that.
Or lobster mode. I don't know what happens with lobster mode.
Probably what is lobster mode? So what was the message say? Oh, add buttons here beyond the messaging tool. Okay, let's find out what lobster mode is. I feel like there's a personality developed there. Like it's its own character. Let's see what it says.
Can you tell us a joke?
Yeah.
Exfoliate. What shall this crustacean do for you? Lobster mode could be okay. So to finish that, like Telegram is way more friendly, has a real bot API. You can do a lot of things, so that's what I recommend now. But anything works, and I'm sure this space will also move very fast. Hopefully Meta wakes up at some point and actually gives us a good bot API. Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry. Like I butchered the demo a bit because because now I'm working on sandboxing.
Yeah.
To actually give people a way where because you know what happened is like people found it. People were like, "Oh, what is this?" And then they went full on in, and then they want to adopt it for work. But of course, for that you need a little bit more guardrails, basically.
Fair. Oh wait, is it a Clawdbot for enterprise comment? Like, what's happening? What's happening, Peter?
Nothing planned like that. All I want is I want to give people more choice. So what I worked on this week is that sandboxing works already last week, but this week is kind of week where I'm working on allow lists. So ideally you can like set up things that are like safe, and if the agent wants to run something that is unsafe, you get a nice little pop-up where you can say allow once, allow always. Even though my gut feeling is a lot of people will still run in YOLO mode, as
100%.
Most developers also run in YOLO mode for their coding agent because everything else is just annoying. But still, I want to get this right.
I love that. So this is something that you're currently working on. And it's for people to have the ability to sandbox and that being native to the bot itself. I guess right now people are doing that themselves. And somebody asked how much it costs. It's free and open source, friend. Well, it's not free, like free beer, but it is open source.
It does cost me token and sleep. And it does cost you some kind of, you have to run the model somewhere. So, but yeah, if you have a beefy machine, you can run it locally.
Yeah, for sure. And some of the, I mean, it depends. It depends, I guess, what your use case is. But some of the smaller models that are cheap, they're fine. Like for what, they're fine. They do what you need. They do what you need. What are people building? Who are these folks?
This is just things I collect from Twitter about all the cool stuff that the people build for, which is like already way more than I do. I think like the wildest thing I did is like I hooked it up to my bed. I have an 8 sleep, and there's an app where you can actually control the temperature. And I built a little CLI so my agent can do that. And now I'm like, I can say while I sleep, my agent can mess with the temperature of my bed, or it can turn on the music, it can change the lights, it can look at the cameras. It can check how long my food order takes. It can, of course, it has its own email address. It also has access to my email address. It has its own WhatsApp, but it also can read my WhatsApp stuff and reply as me if it wants to. So there's always a trade-off, right? The more powers you give it, the more amazing things it can do. But yeah, there's like people are building the wildest things with it, like even automation machines where you bookmark something on Twitter, it will get a notification and will like research that for you or put it on a to-do list. They build whole apps with it. There was like someone who's, oh yeah, of course everybody buys them a MacBook. Oh yeah, my old business partner, he cleaned up 10,000 emails from the inbox.
Wow. Wait. That is, first of all, 10,000. And how, like, with confidence, like that, how? I want to know how they did that, because I feel like people, not me, maybe have a lot of unread emails.
It's Gmail, so removing from the inbox is just moving into archive. Nothing is actually lost.
Okay, nothing is lost. So okay, beautiful.
It's more like, can you archive all of that stuff for me, or is there anything that I should check? What I find really cool is I saw some use cases where people set it up for families. So like I would get my agent, and like my wife, I don't have a wife, would get the agent, and then those agents can also talk to each other to like synchronize if there's like a common to do. So there's some cool use cases that I haven't even tried.
Oh, I love that. I need that, actually. So it's like, it used to be like, have your people talk to my people, and now you can have your agent talk to my agent. That's very cool. Benjamin is using it to make your shopping list. That's cool,
yeah,
Benjamin.
This is not so far enough. Like someone already wrote a skill where the agent can automatically buy from Tesco. So you just tell it like, buy this stuff again, and it'll just do, and then a few hours later you have it in front of your door.
This is amazing. Somebody's used it to do all their invoices and expense collections. Oh wow, that is goated. I hate doing that. I have a expense report that I have that's been due for a week now. I still haven't done it. Sorry, boss. From last week. Yeah, I hate that.
What I also found really cool is there's a use case where they use it to get back into fitness, because you can hook it up to your what's the ring called?
Oh, the Aura. Yeah, your Aura ring.
And there's also like a hookup for Garmin watch or this other fitness band. The people who make it the hardest are Apple, but we also have a solution for that. It's just a little bit annoying because you kind of need an iPhone app to be open to synchronize the data, because Apple tries so hard to like lock everything away.
Yeah.
But one thing that's special about Clawdbot that I haven't seen so far is also in terms of like how wide can you go. Usually an agent only answers to you, right? You send a request, you get an answer back. But I built a heartbeat.
Say more.
So I think by default it's 30 or 60 minutes, depending on what model you use. The agent gets a ping. It's like, is there something that you need to check? Is there like a to-do you need to do? So they automatically try to figure out if there's like any loose ends, and will think about it and either ping you or not. So they have a system where they can. You have to make it simple for an agent. They can send to the harness no reply, and then nothing will happen. Or otherwise, they can send you things. So they can, depending on how you program it, they will like tell you good morning. Sometimes they check up on you. It's like, how are you doing? If you tell them like, I have this and this goal, make sure that I achieve this goal. They can keep track. It's like, did you go for a walk today? Did you hit the gym yet? Like for example, my Claude very unsuccessfully tries to get me to sleep after like it's like 1 or 2 a.m. It's like, Peter, I still see you awake. You need to sleep.
I mean, this is like a for real personal assistant. I love that. That's very cool.
Or like some people use it to like learn new languages. So, you know, it is very effective to have something that just keeps nagging you to achieve the goals that you made to yourself. Sometimes a little kick is really effective. But yeah, like I suggest everyone who has like no idea what this is, I built this little showcase page that is all made from tweets. So you can like, I don't like those pages where they just make quotes, but they're not backed up. So everything in there are real tweets from people.
The real people.
I hope so.
It's a sentient army of Clawdbots tweeting themselves, hyping themselves out so that you don't shut it down. No, this is fantastic, honestly. Like, just giving the accessibility for people to like build their own, and having that starting point. I think, like, you definitely found the gap because people wanted to do this. There was nothing out there really. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so if I want to set it up, I'm a quasi-savvy tech person, right? What would be your entry point, like your basics? This is the recommendation. Telegram for one. Someone mentioned earlier about there was something else that had good access, good API as well.
I think a really nice way is a really simple one is,
okay,
if you have an old computer,
put it in there.
Just put it on there.
Okay.
A lot of people have an old Mac around, which is perfect for this. And then on the website, there's this one-liner that you paste in the terminal and will guide you through. A lot of people use Entropic. That's right now the thing that has the best character, dare I say. OpenAI works really good, and I'm fairly certain there's going to be progress in that front, that their model is not as boring.
Yeah.
If you're on a budget, Minimax is a great alternative, because I think you get like a plan for $10 a month that has about as many requests as the $100 a month from Anthropic. But also it's not the same yet, but the space is fast moving. So
you think these models are gonna get cheaper? I had a question about, somebody wanted me to ask you specifically about working with Gemini models and Clawdbot, if you wanted to share your experience with that. I mean, listen, if we start getting to every single model, but just from your own experience working with it.
Gemini is not a good model. It's not doing well.
Okay. Boom, there you have it. But if you need to experiment and doing it with these local, like, cheaper models, like, that would be the way. So find the old computer. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are ways to like optimize for each model a little bit. You know, like the old Anthropic models, to get them to do things, you had to like use all caps and scream a little bit at them. The newer ones don't like this. There's like,
them. Tell them
I'm sure there's space how you can like get a little bit more out of Gemini, but overall I didn't find it a very good model for tool calling or like in the agentic sense at all. For writing code, maybe, but that's not the main thing this project is for. People very much use it for that, and it works. But yeah, my day only has 24 hours. I sleep around 4 of that. I work the rest, Peter, but I haven't gotten through all of that yet.
How can we help though? And by the way, you're also like helping the environment, because now I regret getting rid of this old, like, on a 2013 iMac, you got it running like, and it works flawlessly, says Will. That's pretty epic.
I mean, you, for installing, like, if you're a little bit more tech savvy, just hook it on a Hetzner or or Fly or Excel or like all of these cheap hosters, they work great. There's a new system that I worked on where you can install the server. It's called Gateway, somewhere in the cloud, and then you can install a node on your machine, and then you use Tailscale to connect your network securely.
Tailscale is amazing. Yes, I'm a big fan. I am a big fan of Tailscale. It's on every machine.
Yeah, when you have that set up, then the agent in the cloud can very easily connect to your Mac and do like some of those things that only work on Mac. Like, I don't know, accessing your photos from Photos app, or connecting to iMessage. That does not work on Linux, but most things do. So that's one way. Yeah, but that's a little bit harder to set up. Here's an old Mac, and that's now Claude's Mac. It has charm, people put little stickers on it. This is like Claude's computer,
I love it.
But yeah, there's a lot of ways, and it even runs on Windows if you have to. Probably not as perfect because it's hard, and again, my day only has so many hours. But eventually we'll get this right. I already added some contributors. I'm looking for more. There's a lot of people
for the Windows version, or for
everything. Really.
I love this. Let's talk about this. And hello, this is the question of the hour. How can I contribute? Thank you for that question, AI fanatic. Peter, people want to help. You need to sleep more than 4 hours a night, man.
So the things that are not good and where everyone can help is write documentation, make it better, find spots that are wrong, help other people on Discord. There's like a help channel that burns through my tokens. I think I already spent like 5K on tokens. But oftentimes people ask questions that the agent can't possibly know because it just needs experience. So like having other people helping out would be amazing. Testing my stuff, like I move very quickly, so sometimes things break. Eventually we have a stable channel, a beta channel, and a dev channel, and I kind of already set things up for that, but we're not quite there yet. So right now it's daily releases. And it's very helpful if people say, "Oh, this broke right now." It's even better if you say this broke right now, and here's a PR how we could fix it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, if you want to help, get on Discord. That's the place to be.
I'm gonna post the link to the Discord invite. It's super simple. It's literally discord.com/invite/Claude. You can also find it on the website, but I'll go ahead and post it on all the channels. So I've been in it for a total of like 4 hours, and people are really nice. So like, come join the Discord. And funny, they have a really fantastic sense of humor, which I very keen and appreciate. Amazing. What's up? So now we know how to help. What's like your core priority for the project? Like, say, because this space moves in hours, not days or weeks. Let's call it end of February, maybe. What's something that you would like to have accomplished by then, the project, or a core priority that you really want to hone in? Working on the sandboxing and security, obviously, top of mind.
Yeah,
Anything else?
Like it is a one line on the website that makes it work. I want to make sure it makes it work wherever you enter it, which is really hard because there's a ton of different systems. So like, it's a little bit of a never-ending game to make sure it works, but it should be simple to install. I want not just have this, but also want to have like apps for the iPhone and Android, and for the Mac. And they're already there. They're just like not good yet. So if you want to get involved, also those are very much blind spots right now because I started building that, but then the project took off, and I had to focus on getting core right. So one thing I also want to build is like there's this onboarding wizard, and it already tells you, please read the security document because you need to understand with great power comes with a great responsibility. For example, like not putting a cheap model. I also want to make it better that you can also select, okay, sandbox, and like explain people really like all the stages of how much power they want to give their bot. Right now, this still requires a little bit of documentation reading. I want to set up more people to actually push the project forward. I just didn't find time yet to think about it more, but I want this to not just be me, but be more of a community thing. I think I'm going to be there in a month.
Amazing. Okay. Well, so I think that's something that folks who are watching now can help and are keen on helping. For all of you cracked out like iOS and Android developers, like this is a fun project. Like go make this app. Are you kidding me? That would be brilliant.
Go make multiple apps. Why shouldn't there be a React Native one too? You know.
Thank you. Yes, I love the power of choice that you're giving people here. That's like the key. Okay, so those are like right now there are some issues that are open. You have some PRs that you gotta review because right now you're the only one doing that. But hopefully that will change next time we chat. But I do want to ask, like, I know right now you haven't thought about the core philosophy of what the project's gonna be like because it's early stages. But you've been releasing like weekly. Is that a pace you're trying to sustain? What? Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's about 200-300 commits every day.
Okay. Wow. All right. I guess that answers my question. Next time we talk, I hope that you got some kind of version in and that you're actually sleeping in things.
No, but it's also like this blew off in ways I couldn't have imagined, and I want people to have a good experience. Like this is always what's been driving me, even in my company. It never was about money. It was about I want to make good shit.
Yeah.
And my standards for good are quite high, and I know I'm not quite there yet. So yeah, I'm working on getting it to a point where I can be really proud of it. I'm already a little bit, but there's definitely blind spots. A lot of people understand. There's some people who like come in there and expect, oh, this does not work and this does not work, and just like start bitching. Yeah, but this is not how open source works. And also, I'm not a VC-backed $200 billion company that has like an army. It's a dude working from home and a lot of people that help.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quote that. That is 100%. We gotta remember that. So before you go on Discord, you go on Twitter and at Clawdbot at Peter. Remember, it's literally Peter doing this. It's a labor of love. But get involved with the community, though. Would you wrote this in Rust or somebody's? Yeah, no. Wait a minute. What is Anad saying? Let me see. Seeing the icon, I think is fully written in Rust. I think the crab has more aesthetic value than actually.
No, this is all TypeScript.
TypeScript.
Yeah. I see, ever since AI, I don't really care so much about languages anymore.
It doesn't matter.
The language is not what matters so much. It's more like the ecosystem that matters. And for this project specifically, I want it to be like very approachable and hackable. And the world's top language for that is JavaScript and TypeScript. So plus TypeScript is really good at web stuff.
Yep.
And this is a lot of web stuff. This is a lot of JSON coming in, moving JSON around, pushing JSON out somewhere else, and then going back. So that was the obvious choice. I like building stuff in Rust. I like building stuff in Go. A lot of my CLIs are done in Go. I play sometimes with SIG. I obviously like TypeScript for like web things. The native apps are done in Swift because the Mac one, the Android one is in Kotlin. It's much more about the ecosystem these days, and yeah, I think it was the right choice because it enabled a lot of people to do contributions. It is obviously like JavaScript.
Yeah,
has its own baggage, but nothing's perfect in life. It's always about trade-offs. So yeah, no, rewriting that in Rust is probably not an option right now, but
it's early days still, though. But I appreciate that, though, that candor. And actually, we all know the real language this was written in: blood, sweat, and tokens. Many tokens.
and many sleepless nights.
And many
'Cause it's-
sleepless nights.
Yeah, because even though I mean this project is kind of insane because it is 100% written with AI. There's not a single line in there that I typed by hand.
But you looked at it. You review it.
Let's say most of it.
Okay.
There's some code that pushes code from one shape into another that is just not interesting, or like I don't know, it also has a web server. Do I care which Tailwind class is used to align the button? No, as long as it looks good.
Yeah.
But do I care about how's the pairing code working for Telegram so other people cannot authenticate as me? Yeah, so I look at that. It's always like you need to have a system understanding. You can get away with not looking at some stuff, but you have to look at other stuff. But yeah, even though it is all AI, it's still a lot of work because what those agents still miss is vision and taste and love. So there's also this meme often going on where people write a big list of things and then they just valve it and the agent does everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how I think good software is being made. Like I need to build something and then I need to play with it and see how does this feel? How does this look like actually? And then based on that, I learn and I adjust my vision for what it is. My vision for what it is very different than when I started.
Yeah.
And probably again will be very different in a month from now as I see how people use it. Right. My focus on making it much easier for people to also like sandbox and so is partly because I see a lot of absolutely non-tech folks adopting it, which made it to me a harder priority to like also like make sure they can make great default choices. But in the beginning, I built it for me, and clearly I don't need any of that. But it's a really fun challenge.
I love that. But you mentioned something that's so important, and I think this is how we all know we're gonna keep our jobs because there is no taste yet. I mean, eventually, maybe one day there will be a model that's like, wow, that is really, and especially because we are constantly evolving. Like, look at you just say how I didn't start thinking about sandboxes because that wasn't my use case. And now you're like, and now this is what I'm working on because I want everybody that might not have the technical skill to do it to have a good experience. That's part of that taste and sensibility and love that you can't make that shit up. Like that has to come from a person. So, on that note, our jobs are safe. Our jobs are safe. Let me see if there are any questions. And thank you so much for being so generous with your time. I just looked up and we're over an hour now. So my bad, Peter. I know it's late for you.
Thank you for having me and having me twice, basically, and for allowing me to share this project with the world. Like I'm blown away by all the feedback. I'll keep working on that. Hopefully, building up a community where more people will help, and keep having fun.
I love that. Where can people find you? And also, is this true that Clawdbot loves to buy things with your credit card?
Honestly, I didn't try it yet, but people on Twitter gave it access to one password with the credit card and it bought things for them and it works.
Yeah.
I think that the scariest thing I did in Marrakesh when it was very early, my very shaky Val relay, I told it to like, oh, I need to fly home. Can you check in my flight?
Ooh.
And it was like, sure. And it was spinning up the browser. And
it could have easily canceled it. It could have easily rebooked you to go to Colombia. Who knows?
I'm joking, but like we had the Turing test where people can fake as being human. I proposed the British Airways login test.
Okay.
For checking you in on British Airways, because it's like a 20-page form.
The absolute worst.
On a terrible website. And one of the challenges was that it actually had to enter my passport number. So it looked around on my computer and it found my passport.pdf, and I opened it and got the number out. And eventually, after 20 minutes of me sweating, while watching, it's like, will I ever come back from Marrakesh? Am I going to be stuck here because my agent will like blow up? It actually managed to check me in.
That's pretty impressive.
And
that's
now,
very impressive.
Now we worked a lot on browser automation. It works much better. And the best part was it took around, in the very early version, 20 minutes. And then it bitched about the shadow DOM and how bad the website is.
I freaking love that. So it's not only going to do the job, but it's going to be very opinionated about how much you suck to do it.
Well, I'm logging. Yeah, this is a great rubric. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's epic. Peter, man, it's been a pleasure to chat with you today. I'm gonna spin this thing up. I'm like looking around, like what is it gonna be? I got an all Windows machine I'm looking at, but I want the good experience.
Check out. We have semi-good documentation. Again, I could need help in making them better. There's guides for Hetzner and for some other services where I don't know, it's a few bucks a month and you can like have your own little Claude, or just install it on your laptop if you want to go all YOLO mode.
Yeah, I like this. Honestly. Folks, if you've been building with Clawdbot, if you've been like, it's like building your life. There are so many things. Like I can think of a million applications where I would use this. I love what you said about it being, you can have your own your own agent for your family. Like I sort of got to spend like half my life reminding people of the things that like where we gotta go, what we gotta do. I have a house with 2 kids in it.
You know, but like, the future will be, well, like today, instead of you pinging me, your agent.
I would have told my agent.
No, your agent can talk to my agent, and then my agent can like turn up the volume so I wake up on time.
I love that. I would have told my agent, what am I gonna call him? I would have told him, I would have sick him. Go find Peter now. Go find Peter agent and then get agent to wake you up.
I think somebody posted this meme yesterday. It's like, I'm too busy around to talk to my agent.
I love that. That is the future, though. That is the future.
This is gonna be the thing, yeah.
I love that. But honestly, to free up those cycles, like there are so many things that I feel like it's been an hour and I literally spent an hour calling to book a freaking dental appointment or to make sure that my kid knew that they gotta be somewhere, like all those things, that cognitive load. I want to apply that on things that are interesting and exciting. So
even more so, like after we built this, one person in the chat wrote, this is literally changing my life because I have so much anxiety in calling services, and now my agent can do that for me. And I never thought of it that way, right? But like to me, that was like a very humbling moment. It's like, oh wow, because the original contribution came from me, we actually changed something that changed someone's life for the better. This is like, that felt good.
Open source at its finest. I love that. I love that so much. Thank you, Peter. Keep building. Get some sleep. Folks, we got to get in this project. I'm going to spin it up. I'm going to go through the docs. Make a commitment, people in the chat. Tell me how you're going to help the project. Keep it growing. Peter, you're epic. Thank you so much for coming back from retirement to make our lives better.
And it was a pleasure talking to you.
All right. Please come back, okay? I'll have my agent ready to go talk to your agent by then. All right. Take care. Oh, Peter, where can people follow you? Where are you most active? Is it on Twitter? I'll share your Twitter here now. I think
it's StyPete on Twitter, and I'm also a lot on Discord.
Okay, perfect. And if you want to talk to Clawdbot on Discord, the minute you join, it quickly starts chatting with you, which I was impressed. That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Peter. I'll see you hopefully in a couple of months. Yeah, you have to come back and give us an update.
Do you see this dialogue in the back? That's why that's why it was blocked on the lights. I forgot to press allow.
Okay.
Next time the demo will be perfect.
All right. Perfect. Next time we'll have the agents run the show. We just be here. We just stand here and look pretty. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate you. Thank you so much to Peter for your time and to the Clawdbot community. Legit, I've been in the Discord server for a few hours and it's been delightful. So I encourage all of you to go take it for a spin, set up your instances, check out the documentation. If you find those holes as you're installing, as you're going through your own process, then help with a contribution. So you guys are amazing. Thanks for this is the Copilot hat. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for coming to Open Source Friday. And speaking of bringing intelligence and agentic intelligence to your lives, GitHub Copilot now, the CLI has an SDK. It was just released yesterday. It is free and open source. Free, not like free beer, but free and like you can support and contribute to it. So I'm going to leave you with a video of that. And if you do end up using Clawdbot or you do use the GitHub SDK, Copilot CLI SDK to do something cool, please tag me. I'm a Colombia dev in all places. I'll catch you next time.